What is going on, everybody? Sunday night, Walking Dead, Season 8, Episode 3. Um, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. Jumping off of last week's episode, it looks like the game plan was, I don't know if those were all of the outposts, if that was just some of them, and they were going to move as a group to 3 different ones, and then move to the 3 next. How many outposts there are, I have no idea. I don't know if those are like kind of the last couple ones or what the breakdown is on just how many saviors are. Like, we still don't have an exact number or number of locations or anything like that. But jumping off of last week's episode, it looks like they went with like a 3-headed attack, gonna hit 3 separate areas all at one time. And my question is, when they were trying to keep, were they trying to keep the other outposts from communicating with each other? That's why they didn't want them to call the saviors in, or were they trying to keep them from communicating to where Negan is? But Negan's compound is kind of flooded right now, so I'm trying to think where, when Morales said I called the saviors back, called which ones from where? Like, where are they coming from is my biggest question. It looks like Daryl. I don't know if Daryl is surrounded, and also Rick is surrounded as well. I'm not sure. It looks like uh, Jesus and Tara, Morgan, their kind of outpost hunt was a success. We don't know if Carol and Ezekiel's is a success yet. It just looks like they know that they're coming, and it looks like they're still planning on attacking. So, and from what we saw, it looks like Rick's group is either surrounded, about to be surrounded. And my biggest question is, they better have an amazing explanation on how Morales is there. I'm pretty much sure by now everybody either went back and looked, researched, or they knew who Morales was. He was in the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 1. He was in that original Atlanta group, and Rick was caught in Atlanta and got swooped up by Glenn, and that's the first time they covered themselves in like the Walker guts and all that kind of stuff. He was in that group when they were in the quarry, and he decided to leave with his family because he had family in Alabama, I want to say. So Alabama and DC, or wherever they're at right now, are in completely opposite directions. So they better have an amazing explanation on why and how he ended up all that way north. The only thing I could even see them spinning is maybe when they separated and Rick's group went towards the CDC and Morales' group went towards Alabama, maybe they didn't make it very far and they were like, there's no way we can make it. Let's turn around and try to find Rick's group. But it's not like Rick's group was on the move every time. They were at the farm for a while. They were at the prison for a while. So it's not like, oh, we just keep missing Rick's group. We see them and we keep missing them. Like, they were settled down for periods of time. So they could have walked in, said hello, said anything. I'm just really interested to see how they explain this. And I hope we get an explanation, not just him showed up. I don't know if it was something like maybe he was trying to follow them and they got swooped up. I don't know. But we'll see. We are going to go ahead and get this going. We are pressing play on, hold on, I gotta move some stuff around here. We are pressing play on episode 3 right now. And I really want to know, how far does Jesus plan to make it with this we don't kill saviors thing? Because what do you do with all those prisoners? Do you feed them and house them? So you're going to cut off supplies to your own to feed them or hold them as prisoners. Do you think they're going to obey you guys and just assimilate in? A lot of people say that maybe most of the saviors aren't bad people and they're just afraid to leave and they don't know there's another option. That could be. Or they could just pretend that they want to leave and they don't think there's another option. And as soon as you let them in, they take over. I think you have to kill them. All of them. Sprayed their asses down. Wow. No mercy. And that's the approach you have to take. I feel like if Jesus' group did that same approach right there, like split up and popped it in the bushes, Jesus' group would have told them to like freeze or drop their weapons and not fire. I think Ezekiel and Carol made the right choice. Just spray them. I feel like they're trying to make Morales look like this evil bad guy, but I'm just not. I'm not buying it.
You're always the guy willing to rush in. But why?
Is this Ezekiel's group or is that a horde of walkers? Those are definitely human, alive. Oh, they took their... They're walking them back. You're going to go at this slow of a pace and take the chance of walkers getting ambushed to keep them alive?
She'll know what to do with the note, Rick. Wait, no! You good? That was... I know who it was. Don't matter. Not one little
It doesn't matter. I'm with Daryl. It doesn't matter.
You found them guns.
No.
They aren't here. What?
Is this where Jesus and Morgan fight in the woods?
Morgan, stop.
On your feet, let's go.
They ran off to get away. Then what happens after? We stop them, and they keep trying. Again and again. What you think, they were gonna come back? That they would change? That they would be something else? It doesn't change. It never changes. Once you turn... Morgan, we're gonna find another way. Maggie, we'll
Kill
find
Jesus.
another way.
Take him out,
I
man.
think she won't want him dead. Way to peace.
You do not live with them after this.
Morgan.
Morgan, slap him. I'm trying to see this. And the commercial and then cut it to a different scene? Dang. I'm just... It's... You know what I'm waiting for? How many examples do you need until Jesus snaps? You know how Morgan was on his pacifist grind with his stick? And he wasn't shooting anybody, wasn't doing anything. And then it took that kid getting shot and dying for him to lose it. What is Jesus waiting for? Does he want to bring them back and have Maggie die or have Enid or whatever? I don't know. That guy already played you once when you thought he pissed himself and was surrendering. They just ran on you. What are you doing?
But that doesn't make me wrong.
Like, I'm with Morgan. It's not right that they're going out spraying all these people down, but
Can't be a part of this.
it would get done to them,
Morgan,
and you can't not leave them.
you are right.
I'm with Tara. For once, I agree with Gregory.
He actually came back after all that.
I actually let him in.
No offense, Jesus, but I kind of agree with that prick.
There are families here. Children.
There's 2 empty trailers out back. We could lock them up in there with round-the-clock guards until this whole thing is over. And go from there.
So you're gonna put more
They
manpower
know
to
what
watch
they've
them?
done to us, what they've taken from us.
Of course I do. But they surrendered.
Jesus.
We can't let them go. And we can't kill them. We can't.
You can. He's not there. Did he get up while he was living, or did he get up after he died and turned? He looks like he bled out a lot on that tree. I'm thinking he died and turned and got up. That's a lot of blood. They're gonna show him as a zombie. I can't tell if he's limping because he got shot or if he's limping because he's a zombie. I can't tell. It'd be a bigger impact if he was a zombie. Which one is it? You think if he was limping because he got shot, he would have headed back towards them and not out by himself? I love Rick's negotiator
I'm giving
voice.
you my word. There's not a lot that's worth much these days. The man's word. It's got to mean something, right?
Where's the gun he shot with?
Can I go?
Just change the garbage.
Oh. Oh, we gotta talk about that after this.
Everyone is accounted for, Your Majesty.
I feel like they're about to get sprayed down. They're just everything's going too good for their group right now.
Not one.
It's just too good right now, and I think
We need to sweep the compound.
Your counsel. Your plan.
Let me take a look.
Gonna be here a while. Might as well take care of him.
he's believing in his. I feel like he's believing in his own words, like he's just saying them, and now he's actually starting to believe himself.
We or they. One or the other. Cannot be.
Oh my god. Okay, alright, okay. Well, we gotta talk about that first. First of all, I didn't even see what Ezekiel was looking at. Clearly they're zooming in like that. Somebody's shooting from somewhere. I couldn't tell if I was supposed to look at the ground, the vent, the window. I saw about 10 plus people get shot, and then about another 6 or so that jumped on Ezekiel that took rounds to the back. Like, multiple people took 5, 6, 7 shots to the back. They're dead. I mean, everything was going too good. I mean, what did they have? 3 ambushes and not a single person died? That just doesn't happen. That's absolutely crazy. I guess we're going to pick up from there, and Ezekiel's really going to... I wonder if he's going to start cracking on the character that he's playing. Because everything's gone so well that he might start mentally losing it. Let's go back to the 2 Daryl and Rick exchanges we had when Rick was trying to explain to Morales, like, I'm not like Negan, I'm not as bad, like, I do it because of this or because of that. He's like, I wouldn't kill you, I would try to find another way. He tried to tell Daryl to stop, and Daryl shot him with the bow. You figure Daryl knew Morales more and longer than Rick did. How good their relationship is, who knows. Daryl said he knew who it was, why did it matter, type thing. And then Rick went through that speech of like giving his word, and it doesn't mean anything. What means anything anymore in this world unless you give your word? That dude talks. Daryl takes him out in the head, and Rick. That's crazy. They're really trying to like drive that wedge this season of which side are you on? Are you on the like the Tara, the Morgan, the Daryl side of like doesn't matter who you come across, you gotta take them out? Or are you on the like Jesus Maggie type, what Rick is struggling with? Do you try to assimilate with these people after this is over? And I don't think you can. You could try to like banish them to the other side of the state, or maybe they stay where they are type thing, but you can't do that. Not everybody's going to agree with you. We tried that when we were at the farm with Rick and Shane, and they had that high school kid that went to school with Maggie and knew where she lived. And what are you going to do? Just drive him out a couple miles and think he's not going to circle his way back around and be like, he can't be trusted. Like, so the question is, if you think that you shouldn't just mass slaughter them, what is the solution? Because even if you say, let's just use a flat number, let's say 100, there's 100 leftover saviors after this is over, and you say 75 of them, they're going to assimilate, no problem. They've never even killed anybody. They're just people that live in the compounds. They're just there like day-to-day operations. But you've got 25 that are deep down like, we should still be in charge, we still follow Negan type thing. Like, they can't be trusted. Even if it is 2 or 1 person, like, you can't have that person roaming around, whether it's at the hilltop, Alexandria, the kingdom, and it almost got them ambushed and killed because they had to save those guys when they were getting attacked. And now you're going to house and feed them on top of trying to house and feed your own people. It's a tough choice. I'm kind of with the Morgan, what Morgan went through this episode. He knows deep down he's not right. He knows he's not right, but he knows he's not wrong. And I'm kind of with that thing. I mean, if it was reversed, would you want them to take your surrender? Sure, but would I expect them to give me my surrender? No, I wouldn't. Not in the world that they're set in now. I just think that that's the real narrative they're trying to drive home this season. And I don't know, because you could say even Negan to an extent didn't just he could have killed everybody when he first had everybody lined up, and he didn't. Now, he didn't do that to live peacefully, though. He did that to scare tactic, I need you to give me half of your stuff type thing. So, but I'm under the impression I'm more on the Daryl side. Like, we don't need to ask questions about it. We just know what needs to be done. They're not with us. They're not trying to be with us. Their group has attacked us, whether it was them or not. They've caused us things. Daryl's been prisoner. I just think they have to be. I think they have to be killed, all of them, from top to bottom. Even you might even say the kids. You might even have to say the kids as well, because you can't leave these kids around and let them stay around for 5 years or so. When they finally get trusted by everyone and they maybe they get to be on patrol, and maybe they get to do these things and go out for raids and hunts or whatever, and they get a gun in their hand and they're just waiting for that opportunity to turn around and spray everybody down because you killed their parents type things. It's a tough decision, but what do you do? I don't know. You can keep the baby because she's not going to know any different. You could say Aaron's her father, you're never going to know. But it's a tough choice and an interesting narrative that they're in 3 episodes now. They've really tried to drive that home. And it's going to be interesting. And just kind of like the, I don't know if all of you watch Fear the Walking Dead, but when they had the tribe come in and live with the other people, like, you can put us all in the same place, but like, they hate each other and they tried to attack each other the entire time. And you just can't, I don't think they can live together. I don't think it's possible. So I'm interested to see. I mean, we kind of already know what side it's going to. I think if it ends with, yay, Negan's dead, now the saviors and everybody can live in one. I think if it ends up like that, it's like, that was anticlimactic. But it's good. It was crazy to see just Carol and Ezekiel just spraying down groups. And I can't believe that's how the episode ends. It's actually mind blowing. And my biggest pet peeve was the Morales thing. I don't get it at all. The only reason I could, now that the episode's over and I got to see it from start to finish, the only reason I see why Morales was brought back was to make Rick second guess his actions. He had somebody question the type of person he was that knew him from the beginning. And he was getting questioned that he was just like Negan from somebody that knew him before all this happened. So I think that was kind of making Rick like contemplative. Is what he's doing any different than what Negan does? That's the only reason I see Morales being brought back, because he served no purpose in the story. He didn't help them hurt. He was brought back for 20 minutes and killed. So yeah, that was kind of random, and it didn't explain how he got there. They said they found him in the back of a trailer hitch, or in a where they found you in Atlanta, they found you in Tennessee. Like how far the Saviors reach, I don't know. But let me know what you guys thought. I thought it was a pretty good episode. Was that better than episode 2? I'm gonna say right now 2 and 3 are tied. Maybe if I have a couple more days to sit on this episode, but 2 and 3 are tied in the opening. The premiere wasn't as good as these last 2 episodes, but that's just my opinion. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,